Let me start by saying I have a very good friend named Walter Anderson. Some of you may know who he is or even have worked with him. He was the editor of Parade magazine and went to night school and started working as a reporter and ended up being valedictorian at Mercy College and becoming an award-winning journalist, and eventually was president and CEO of Parade Enterprises. I told him I was coming to speak to the ALA, and he said he had spoken at one of your conventions before, and the point that he started with was that he read his way out of poverty. He read his way out of poverty because there were public libraries in the areas that he lived in urban New York City growing up. And I personally had a similar experience, I would say, not because I grew up in poverty. When I was a kid, we were in so many different places, and my academic education when I was young was scattered all over the place. At one point, I went to 9 different schools in 5 years between the 5th and the 10th grade. And the one saving grace that I always had was that at my father's insistence, I would read. He would say, read a book a week, read a book a week. And if that's not enough, read 2 books a week. And through reading and the understanding that it gave me in many ways of the world further away from where I was, I developed the kind of intellect, I think, and analytical skills that helped me when it came time to go take the SATs and to try to get into a college and to do some of these other things. Public libraries are such a huge part of that. And now, as was mentioned here before I started speaking, they play such a valuable role today in opening up the world that we have been given through the internet to people who otherwise wouldn't have that opportunity. And I think where I live in Northern Virginia, people in public service and people in the school systems really recognize that. I think that the money that goes into the library systems in Fairfax County, Virginia, where I live, is very thoughtfully spent.